Danjo Danahichone. Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of Apache Stealth. Today's story, Beauty Way, by D'akhenya Montoya. It was a beautiful morning in the forest as the sun was coming up over the treetops. David Johnston came out of his tent and saw Burro standing in silence, obviously doing sunrise prayers. David didn't want to interrupt Burro, so he quietly made his way to the little camp kitchen and poured himself a cup of coffee. In the beautiful silence of the morning birds chirping, he heard Burro say, "Walk in beauty." "Good morning, David," said Burro as he walked towards him. David smiled from his cup and said morning back. Puzzled by what Burro said in his morning prayer, he spoke up. "Burro, I heard you say walk in beauty. What does that mean?" Burro grabbed a cup and poured himself some coffee. Before speaking, he grabbed a spoon and took several spoonfuls and poured them on the ground. "Why did you do that?" asked David. Burro sat down in the chair and said, "An offering to my ancestors." David took another sip and wondered, do all indigenous people do that? Burro took another sip and began to speak of Beauty Way. Our lives are very much like a small pond. When its waters are calm and still, you can see your reflection in the water. We are responsible for our actions day to day. They can cause great changes in our lives. When you make good choices, the pond remains calm and reflective. When you hurt others, you hurt yourself. It can cause tiny cracks to form in your own spirit. Hurting others, saying bad things, or being selfish is like taking a stone and throwing it into your pond. The stone will cause a ring to form. It ripples outward. Eventually, it returns upon itself until the water becomes peaceful and calm again. Living the proper way in the eyes of the Great Spirit will keep this pond calm and reflective. A life of material things, deceit, greed, envy, lust, jealousy, and anger are like stones. Each stone tossed into your pond can make the water so choppy you can lose sight of the real you. It takes great patience for the water to become calm and still. Eventually, you will see your true spirit again. It is easy with all those stones to fall prey into the snare that humankind makes for itself. You get caught up in your own illusion, your own story, and many will become lost. When I was a child, I remember reading about a scientist and his experiment. You may find this part of the story harsh, but it does shed light on the stones. A scientist took a frog and put him into a pot of boiling water. The frog fought to get out of the pot, but promptly died. Next, the scientist put a frog in the pot of room temperature water and turned the burner on. As the water slowly became hotter, the frog never fought to get out of the pot. It slowly acclimated to the heat of the water, and the frog ultimately died. Human beings are very much like the frog in the room temperature water. They add so much chaos into their lives, it's just like they turn on the burner under themselves. They don't realize until the water is too hot that they are causing their own death. Stress leads to imbalance. Imbalance leads to disease. The dark winds must blow over all of us. How well we sailed through these winds develops our integrity and character. We all have something to learn from both good and bad events. Many people think they have nothing to be thankful for. These people have never had to live without. When you experience living without, you learn to never take anything for granted. Living outside in nature, I must go to the creek and collect water. I must gather wood to make a fire. I heat the water in a pot to bathe myself or to wash my clothes. When I return to civilization and I step into the shower and turn the hot water on, I am truly grateful. What a great blessing it is for me to use a washing machine. At the laundromat, I've listened to many complain that they have to use those terrible machines and waste their day washing clothes. I think to myself, maybe they should try doing laundry by hand for a month. Learning from these life lessons helps our spirit to grow. Even from the bad events, we grow. Many will let those bad events continue to haunt them the rest of their lives. But I say, learn from those events. Take the positive message from them. Don't let the ghost of the past continue to haunt you. Nothing of the mind has power over you, only the power you allow it to have. Learn to let go. By letting go, you can forgive yourself and others. Once you learn to do this, you have started on the path to learning Hojong. Hojong can only be learned from experiencing things in life. Hojong is a balancing act. Think of your body as if it were a car. No matter how new or old it is, it can't do anything without the driver. If your body is like the car, then your spirit is like the driver. When a spirit gets a new car, they must learn to drive it. Experiences of life are the test drives that teach how to handle your car. Now that you understand this, I can explain Hojong. Hojong is learning to balance your spirit with your body. Then, you must learn to balance spirit and body with the world around you. When you learn to balance these three things, you learn to walk in Hojong. Like those ripples, everything around you can affect you. Everything you do can affect others. When you can walk in Hojong without sending out negative ripples, and then balance those ripples that come back at you from others, you begin to learn how to walk in beauty. The last thing is the easiest, yet hardest thing for people to do. Words, the very gift that the Great Spirit gave us. What comes out of our mouth can be sacred. It can reflect the pond that is within you. Today, it is easy to walk around and hear all the vulgar words people use to converse with each other. Maybe they never learned about the connection between the sacred voice and the spirit. Think of words like they are food. Part of Hojong is eating healthy food, things that are good for your body. Your body becomes sluggish when all you eat is junk food. Your body becomes tired when all you eat is meat. There must be a balance in the food you eat as well. Eating proteins along with plants and vegetables is very nourishing to the body. Now imagine that words are food. When people speak, We hear what they say and it enters our mind. Just like the food we digest in our stomach, we digest and process words. It is up to you which foods you decide to eat, for that is your path on Mother Earth. It is also up to you which words you decide to digest. When you can learn not to eat the bad words and to speak only positive and beautiful things, the body and spirit grow closer together. This is the sacredness of Hojong. When you continue to walk and live in this manner, you are walking in beauty. This is the beauty way. David had forgotten his coffee, and it had gotten cold. He was amazed at the words he heard. No one had ever spoken to him about beauty way. Burro added, "What you last heard me say was a prayer." "What is the prayer?" asked David. Burro replied, "Beauty in front of me, beauty behind me, beauty above me, beauty below me, beauty to the sides of me. Today, I walk in beauty." "Wow," said David as he ran his hands through his hair. "I can see how special you are. I wish I was that special. I mean, I'm nothing. That is why I came to see you. I'm broken." Burro smiled and thought for a second. "You're not broken, my friend. You're just carrying too many stones." David replied, "Once you help me with those stones, will I feel special?" "You're already unique and special," said Burro. "Well, I don't feel special," said David half-heartedly. "In fact, I feel like I don't fit in this world." Burro smiled again and said, "If you don't feel like you fit in this world, maybe you were sent here to change it in a very beautiful way. I've taught you the beauty way, and I've shown you that you have a pond. I will help you calm the water, but only you can walk the beauty way." David smiled and said, "I'm ready for help." Burro nodded his head and said, "Let's begin."